List data structure. Lists are a bit like arrays in Java, C++. Lists are mutable objects. What are mutable objects? I will go in detail. Lists allow heterogeneous objects, preserve the order of insertion as well as deletion, allow duplicate items. Lists are dynamic, so we can increase and decrease at runtime. Creating a list. How do we create a list? List starts with a square brackets. List should have a square brackets separated by comma. Syntax. As you know, list should start with square brackets, item 1, comma, item 2, comma, item 3. Or to a Python interactive shell, take one variable list underscore example is equal to list square brackets. Item 1 is Monday, comma, Tuesday, comma, Wednesday. All these items are strings inside the list. So if you do a type of list underscore example, gives me a class list. Here you see it's class list. List underscore example or L underscore ex1 is equal to, taken one more list 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 2.333. So this list consists of integers, float as well as a string. So it supports heterogeneous objects. Heterogeneous objects can be included as items inside the list. So this list is valid. If you do a type of L underscore ax1, gives me a class list. Take one more example, say L underscore ex2, and items inside the list are 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma one more list. List can also be an item inside the list. It is called sublist. 1 comma Ravi comma Sachin. So list inside the list is possible and it is valid. List within list. Type of L underscore ex2 gives me class list. Accessing the items inside the list. How do we access the items inside the list? Take one example, say list have items like Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai. We can print a list by using a print function. Printing a list. Print cities or even cities without any print function can print on a terminal. Coming to indexing. Indexing in list. How do we do indexing? Cities of 0 gives me Delhi. Cities of 2 gives me Chennai. Chennai. So if we go to the cities, Delhi is at index 0 and Mumbai is at index 1 and Chennai is at index 2. Always remember, index always starts with 0. Cities of 1.0. While indexing, float is not allowed. Always allowed type is integer. Indexing cannot be done by float, so it gives me an error like float can't be used while indexing. Go to interactive shell, say cities is equal to Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai. Try to access it with float 1.0. It should give me an error. See, list indices must be integers or slices, not float. Cities, say 4. We are trying to get the index which is not available, so cities of 4 gives me index out of range. Error is index out of range. List index out of range. Index error. Try to access this without any index. It gives me index because while indexing, integer is mandatory. We cannot index without any integer. Coming to another way of accessing a list, slicing in list. Take an example like list numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and index as usual starts with 0, 1, so we are giving indexes for this list underscore numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. How do we slice a list? Slicing operator. Slicing operator starts with square brackets and colon. Syntax. Square brackets, start, colon, end, colon, step. All these three things are optional in slicing. We may or may not give these start, end as well as step. But square brackets and colon is mandatory. So we are trying to slice list underscore numbers with 0 to 2. So output should be 0, 1 and 0, only 0 and 1. So we have sliced it with 0 to 1, 0 to 2. So start is inclusive and end is exclusive in case of list as well as in other cases as well in indexing. Step can be positive as well as negative. Positive is incremental and negative is decremental in indexing. Step plus is forward increment, step minus is backward increment or reverse increment. Let's go to Python interactive shell, list underscore numbers. We'll slice it with, we haven't mentioned any start here, only end is mentioned, so by default it should take from 0. So the output is 0, 1, 2, 3. List underscore numbers, we are slicing with start. We haven't mentioned any start end, so by default all the items is listed below. List underscore numbers, we are slicing it with negative indexing is also possible. Start is not mentioned, but end is -2, so it will start from negative indexing. So the last item will have -1 index, the last but one item say -2 index, -3, -4, and -5 and -6. These are the indexes, negative indexes. So here start is not mentioned, but end is -2. So it will start with 0 and end at -2. Let's take one more example. Say take some examples like list indexes, list underscore numbers, -2 to -1. The start is -2 and end is -1, so only 4 is printed. List underscore numbers, we start with -1 and end with -2, so start is less than the end, so empty list. That's why we need to specify step length as minus. List underscore numbers, -1 to -6, but we have mentioned as -2 as step length. So it will start at -1, decrement -3, decrement -5. So the output will be 5, 3 and 1. These are a bit like arithmetic progressions in mathematics. List underscore ambers, we are slicing it 4 to 100. Remember, the 100 is not an index here, so it will start with 4 and end with length of the list. So the output is 4 and 5. If the index is not present, it won't throw an error in slicing. List underscore ambers of 5 to 100, it should give me 5. List underscore numbers from 6 to 100 should give me an empty list. But in case of indexing, if you try to index with element which is not there in the index, it will give an error, ist index out of range. Let's take another subtopic, lesser mutable objects. What is mutable objects? So we can change the elements at runtime in the list, or we can reassign the items. We can reassign the items by using assignment operator. You can also reassign the whole list. Take one examples. Colors is equal to red, gold, orange. Orange and yellow. We can reassign the whole list. Say colors 1. We are trying to assign colors of 1 with pink. So if we print colors, the output will be red, pink, orange and yellow. Here we have assigned the index 1 with pink. Gold is replaced with pink at the index 1. Similar way, we can also assign the entire list to another variable. Go to the interactive shell. Colors is equal to red, gold, orange and yellow. Colors of 1 we are assigning with pink. Print colors should give me red, pink, orange and yellow. Here index 1 is replaced with pink. We can also reassign the whole list. Say take a new list, say new underscore colors is equal to white and black, and assign colors is equal to new colors. So we are reassigning the whole new list to colors. When you try to print colors, it gives me white, black as an items in the list. Print colors gives me white and black. In this way we can resend the whole list. Similarly, we can also delete the list. Say how do we delete the list in Python? You just have to give del space a list name. Entire list will be deleted. Or we can also give the index. Say delete colors of 0, colors of 1 will delete the specific item inside the list. Say delete example is equal to take a new list, say Ravi, Sachin, Kohli. Say del space delete underscore example of 2. So we are trying to delete the index 2 by del. So now the new list will be Ravi, Sachin, and this will delete the index at 2. Come to the interactive shell, take this example, delete underscore example is equal to Ravi, Sachin and Kohli, and delete del underscore example the index 2. When you try to print the list, print del underscore example, it gives me Ravi, Sachin inside the list. Similarly, we can also delete del space del underscore example. We are trying to delete by slicing, say 0 to 1 or 0 to 2. If you try here, we try to delete from 0 to 1, so it should print me an empty list. As we slice it from 0 to 1, it only deleted the index 0 there. Coming to concatenation, multiplication and membership in Python list. Take a list A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to 10, 11, 12, 13. So how do we concatenate two strings? We just have to give A plus B and assign it to C, variable C. Here plus operator acts as concatenation of two lists. So at the end, if you try to print C, the output list will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 14. It's 13. Multiplication in Python list. Take a variable D is equal to A asterisk 3. You try to do that. Open interactive shell, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to 10, 11, 12, 13. A plus B gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13. Once again, after concatenating of two lists, the resultant is also a list. Print C gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13. Similarly, take one more variable, say D is equal to A asterisk 3. If you try to print D, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is repetition operator in Python list. Trying to check the membership operator, say 1 in A. True, returns me true because 1 is an item inside the list A. Similarly, check for 2 inside A. True. 5 in A. False because 5 is not an element inside an array, inside the list A. Take a new list is equal to A plus 34, 35, 36 and enter. If you try to print new underscore list, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 34, 35, 36. The new list has been appended at the end. Also, iterating inside a list. As list is iterable object, we can easily iterate through each and every item inside a list. So how do we iterate inside a list? So we can iterate the list using for loop or even while loop. So for I in a list colon print I, it prints me 1 new line, 2 new line, 3 new line, 4. For I in range of say 10, try to print I, it gives me 0 to 9 numbers. If I modulus 2 is equal to 0, print I. So there is a condition. If it is modulus of 2 is equal to 0, it should print, else skip. And coming to most important topic of list comprehensions. Syntax of list comprehensions, or traditional way. First start with traditional way and I will go with list comprehensions. By list comprehensions, how to write the above logic. List comprehensions syntax has square brackets and a variable for I in range of 10 space if I modulus 2 is equal to 0. You can see here it's just a one line code and very good mod and code readability is very good with this list comprehensions. The above 3 lines of code is written in one line using list comprehensions, and list comprehensions also improves performance as well as code readability. These are the features of list comprehensions. List comprehensions gives good code readability and code runs faster with list comprehensions. Similarly, take one more example. For x in mathematics. If, and there is a condition, say if x in list of ovals, Say if x in AEIOU, so now it should print me AEAI other items inside the list. Check for the ovals inside the string. The below example checks for the ovals in the string mathematics. Open the interactive shell. Just try to run this list comprehensions. You can see here A is an oval, E is an oval, A and I. Syntax of list comprehensions. It should start with square brackets and output variable say output expression and a for loop and an if condition statement which is optional. It can be n number of if conditions inside list comprehensions and also n number of for loops inside list comprehensions. Let's go with nested if with list comprehensions. As I said, we can have n number of if conditions inside list comprehensions. So we'll have an example for nested if with list comprehensions. Take a variable num underscore list is equal to square brackets y for y in range of 100 if y in y modulus of 2 is equal to 0 and if y modulus of y is equal to 0. So we are trying to get the list which are divisible by 2 and divisible by 5. So if we're trying to print the new underscore list, it should give me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80. The items in the list are divisible by both 2 and 5. And coming to built-in methods in list. Some of the few built-in methods of lists are length method calculates the length of the list, max method returns the item with highest value, min returns the minimum value, sum of the items inside the list, sorted, it will all sort the elements inside the list. Let's take a list. A is equal to 10, 20, 30 and 40. Length of A gives me 4. Max of A should give me 40. Similarly, min of A should give me 10. You can also sorted of 2. Sorted is one more method. Sorted of A should give me 10, 20, 30, 40. A few more built-in methods in Python: list or append method adds an item at the end of the list. Insert method is used to insert an item at some position. Say insert at position. If you want to insert some item at 0 position, insert parenthesis 0 comma an item. Remove method. Remove method removes the first instance of the item inside the list. Similarly, a few more methods are pop, push. When it comes to pop, removes the element at the specific position. Clear, it will clear all the items inside the list. Another built-in method in Python lists are index, comma count, comma sort methods, and even extend and reverse methods. Let's go to Python Interactive Shell. Just open a fresh instance. Just take a list. List A is equal to Ravi, comma Sachin, comma Kohli, and a dot append. Append method takes an argument, say Dhoni. It will append at the end of the list. Say if you try to print the list output will be Ravi, Sachin, Kohli and Dhoni. Similarly, a dot insert as insert takes two arguments. First argument is position and second argument is an item to be inserted. You can see there is an error. Str object cannot be interpreted as an integer because at first position we have to pass only an integer, an index. Say a dot insert 2, Bumrah. If you try to print the list, it gives me Ravi, Sachin, Bumrah, Kohli and Dhoni. Always remember insert arguments are the at first position will be position, comma, an item to be inserted. Next method is display in another list, say 1 2 3 4 4 5 5 5 5 5. So if a dot remove of 3 gives me 1 2 4 4 5 5 5 and so on. 3 has been removed at the first instance. Say a dot remove of 4 gives me 1 2 4 5 and so on. 4 has been removed from the index of the list. Similarly, a dot clear will clear the entire list. If you try to print it, there is no items inside the list. Take a new list, C is equal to 1 2 3 4 comma 4 dot 13 dot 13 dot 13. A dot count of 1 gives me 0. C of count of 1 gives me 2, because in list C the number of one item is repeated 2 times. C of index of 1 gives me 0. C of sort method returns me a sorted list.